Hi everyone, my name is Desiree Davis and this is my older adult oral video presentation. For this presentation I interviewed my coworker Norma. She is 65 years old and we both work together. Obviously we work for Child Protective Services, so I kind of knew her a little bit already, and it was easier for me to ask her, hey, do you want to do this interview for my homework assignment? So I really enjoyed talking to her and I learned a lot, and I hope you like this presentation. So I am focusing on Erikson's biopsychosocial theory, and the life stage that I'm going to focus on is the adolescent stage. So that's the fifth stage in Erikson's stages of psychosocial development, and that is the fifth out of 8 total stages. Adolescents explore who they are, they integrate different roles into their sense of self, and it can also be a time of confusion if they don't know or if they don't feel confident with who they are. So when talking to Norma, she said that she felt a lot of uncertainty and confusion during this stage. This was mostly due to her parents' unstable lifestyle, and they went through a very messy divorce. I guess they were very dysfunctional for a long time before they decided to get divorced, and they didn't get divorced until she was about 15. So she had to put up with that for most of her, young life. She did know that she didn't want a life like her parents, so at 16 she got a job, and she's been working ever since. She knew that she had to work to get the things she wanted because her parents weren't there to really help or guide her, and they also didn't come from a lot of money, so what she wanted, she had to provide for herself at a young age. One of the challenges that she faced was that she had no one to talk to. She said it was a time where things stayed hidden and you weren't supposed to talk about issues within a family. I think that was pretty common back then, especially because mental health and trauma and stuff like that wasn't big like it is today. So that seems pretty, it goes along the same lines. An accomplishment that she shared was that she was able to graduate high school, and then she went to the Sheriff's Academy. So that kind of gets into the young adult stage a little bit, but once she finished the Sheriff's Academy, she actually trained a bunch of other people to become sheriffs, and she feels that that is one of her biggest contributions to society. And like I said, now we both work for Child Protective Services, so it's kind of nice seeing how her life has progressed. Psychosocial crisis resolution. So the main psychosocial crisis that she experienced was her parents' chaotic divorce. She said that this was a huge part of her life, and she spent a lot of time talking about that. And she, like I said, described her family as dysfunctional. She felt very uncomfortable and insecure at this time in her life. She didn't really have anyone to talk to. A lot of that was because when she was a teen, divorce wasn't as common as it is today. People just kind of tended to stick together and not talk about their problems or share their problems with other people. So it made her feel even more alone, like she didn't have anyone to talk to or get advice from. So the ultimate resolution of this crisis was when they finally did get divorced when she was 15. Once they were separated, Norma was able to live a more stable and calm life. She didn't really state any issues that she had when it came to diversity or anything like that. She was a young white woman, so she faced less oppression than some other minorities, especially in that time, I would assume. But it didn't really affect her personal or familial struggles. She was in a lower economic class, but she was still able to receive an education and do better for herself. She has also been with her husband for over 25 years. She's very happy about that. And this kind of shows a correlation with generativity and attachment styles, which was part of my annotated bibliography. So generativity is when it's normally a middle-aged thing, but the point of the article was that adolescents are starting to feel a sense of generativity, and that's when one feels the need to contribute to society for younger generations. So I thought that was kind of interesting, just because she did marry her husband and stay with him, they're still together now, and she graduated the Sheriff's Academy, has done all these things, even growing up in dysfunction. So while she may not have had a healthy attachment style with her parents, she was still able to create a beautiful marriage and contribute to society, which I thought was really nice. Something that inhibited her during this time was that she didn't have a good support system. She stated, "I had to figure out a lot of things by myself. I tried to surround myself with positive and hardworking people." According to another article that I had cited in my annotated bibliography, students who face discrimination and poverty are more likely to experience higher dropout rates and risky sexual behaviors compared to students who don't face discrimination. And risky sexual behaviors can be STIs or pregnancy. Norma beat these odds by not dropping out of school and not having a teenage pregnancy, which I thought was pretty cool. I mean, especially back then, I'm sure those things were more frowned upon, and there would have been bigger consequences than there are today. So I was glad, that she didn't have to go through any of that stuff.